Hi, it's Jo and Tango to watching Only Murders in the Building, Season 1, Episode 7, The Boy from 6B. Thank you so much, Kevin, for sponsoring this show. I absolutely love it. We have a suspect now, everyone knows all the answers. I'm so excited to watch the closing arc of this season. I have got a fan on because it is ridiculously warm. I'm very sorry if it's too noisy, but if I didn't have it on, I wouldn't be able to react. So hopefully it's not too bad and doesn't ruin the reaction. Let's go. He's sharing something he loves with him, best he can. If he can't hear it, he can't hear it, and that's okay. Oof. It's okay that he can't hear it. You can't force him to hear. And don't make him feel more shame that he can't share in this passion with you. Did he kill Zoe or whatever her name was? He's very good at reading lips. Can you see the suspect ball with his dad? Because at this point, the most cunning, the biggest theory is either his dad or he killed the girl back then, and either that's coming up for the son, or the son is, I hadn't really thought of the son, but is now trying to protect his dad. It's gonna break into their apartment. You did not keep him distracted for very long. Secret room. Those urns. Fuck. Okay, good. They're on to us. Why'd you have a weird secret urn room? It's full of jewels. When the kids broke in back in the day, did they see something? Or did Zoe see something and she tried to blackmail him about it or something and he killed her? Your son is perfectly capable of living his life. They do not make their money from from their sandwiches or whatever. Oof. Did you see him looking? Fuck. But the rich girls can... Jesus. Useless Tweedledums. Is she wearing the ring? The ring that was gone from her body when she fell. And that belonged to the Dimas family. And he saw the ring. Or not. I really do think there should be one sign language for the whole world, and every single kid should be taught it in school, because not only would that make the world a much more inclusive place for people who are hard of hearing, but it would also mean that you could meet someone from any country and communicate. Yeah. He saw the ring. Jesus Christ, the urns. I mean, I suppose you might think they're just going to use shit, but you wouldn't bring them through the front where everyone can see them, and my god. This is very sneaky. Very sneaky. Check inside the urns. Because this place probably is a functional funeral home. She's trying to communicate something to you. Oh, the flirting here. Well, go have some private time now. Christ. Jesus Christ. They actually steal jewellery from the dead? And a delivery coming tonight, and it was the old lady. So do they have nothing to do with the murders and the death, but they were to do with jewels? Or were they to do with everything? Oh no, so she just gave him the ring back? Did she jump? She is a bitch. A rich bitch. But she deserved to grow up. But then what did Tim see? Or was it the... I mean, is he gonna kill her? And his dad? So maybe they... Whoa. He should have gone to prison for manslaughter, not Oscar. But Oscar's not rich. Rich daddy will fix it all for you. If you're rich, you can fix it. Tim. It isn't difficult. What are you doing? You say the truth. Okay, you scared another scared kid. And that's when he started looking at his dad differently, because in one way that's protecting him. Fuck. Threatening all of them. Saw a very dark side of his dad, but again, he is just protecting his little boy. I mean, I don't agree with it. Yep, and he crossed the line and he went with it. So he kidnapped them. I'm sure you had a lovely time, but I do believe your partners in crime have been abducted by the lead suspect. I can't believe we know what happened to Zoe in episode 7. It makes me think it's not going to be as simple as they killed Tim. 78 messages. This is not where I thought this would go. Not quite the appropriate laugh when you realise how dire the situation actually is. Okay, this episode was insane. First of all, I absolutely loved the way they filmed it, with us being kind of immersed in Theo's world and how he sees the world, or how he hears the world. There has been a real rise in characters who are deaf within different shows I've watched, and I think that is a really important step. I stand by the fact that I think they shouldn't. I mean, I know that there is at least American Sign Language and British Sign Language. Like, if I were to learn Sign Language, I would learn British Sign Language, and then I'd go to America and I would not be able to communicate with a deaf person. So I think there should just be one kind of Sign Language around the whole world. And as far as I know, there could be like Australian Sign Language, Indian Sign. I do not know how. We're not really taught anything about Sign Language. And I think forget learning French, Spanish, Italian, forget learning English in other countries. Everybody should learn Sign Language, because then you're enabling. I mean, everybody should also learn one spoken language for people who are blind, I suppose. But, you know, I do think everyone should be taught one sign language, because that would just enable wild communications. So I thought they filmed this episode in a really interesting way, and also in a really good way. I didn't think we'd get so many answers right now. I still think that there could be a twist, and it could turn out that they didn't kill Tim, that Tim was just involved in some other stuff. But it does feel like we've solved everything, and now we're just going into a different phase. I don't know. Like, I was really thinking, oh, she's just going to give him the ring and he's going to leave, and then they're still not going to know what happened to her. But no, they fought and she fell. Whoa. And if Oscar, I mean, I guess Tim saw Oscar was upset, and so he went after Zoe to like comfort her or something, and then that's why he was there. If he hadn't been there, everyone would have got away with everything, and Oscar probably still would have gone down for it, because Tim just said nothing. You can definitely see him being a scared kid, this powerful man who lives in your building, who you know has a lot of money and influence, is threatening you and threatening your friend. I do understand why Tim didn't say anything. You wish that regardless he had said something, and had said, we're being threatened by X. You'd like to think someone would do something for him, but then we don't know what else Teddy said, because if he has friends who are in the police or friends who are judges or whatever, then you would be screwed regardless. Being rich, you can get away with murder. That is part of why a girl like Zoe came up with the idea of breaking into homes and stealing things, because at the end of the day, Mummy and Daddy would pay to make it all go away, and it would just be her poorer friends who would struggle. She didn't deserve to die, by no means. She deserved to grow up and grow out of this kind of like, oh, it's so hard being a rich girl phase. Like, she deserved to live. So I can't believe we actually saw what happened that night. And it's hard because you can kind of understand a parent's urge to protect their kid, but that urge should not drive you to commit criminal acts and cover up a murder. You know, it was an accident. I think even Oscar, saying what he truly saw, wouldn't have said, I saw him shove her, no, intending to push her over the ledge. Like, it was kind of just, she was pushing at him, pushing, kind of, and they just fought a bit. And yes, he did push her, and yes, she did fall, but it was an accident. So yes, he would have ended up in prison, because you do end up in prison when you accidentally manslaughter somebody. But he should have been in prison. But I think, a parent wanting to protect their kid, I don't know. It's messed up. The way he went about it, very much messed up. The fact that he was immediately able to be like, oh, that poor kid is not white, we can get it on him. And the courts and the police lapped that up. Poor Oscar. Hopefully we can get his name cleared now that we know what happened. I assume they put all of that together. Like I said, we still don't have confirmation that they killed Tim, though it does seem very, very possible. It does seem like Tim was trying to prove that they were criminals, even if he couldn't prove everything. Maybe he thought if he can get them sent to prison for the jewelry thief, for the jewel thefts, for grave robbing from their clients, once that's happened, once they're locked up and I'm safe from them, I could tell the truth about Oscar and help him. Maybe he was kind of trying to do something like that. I don't know, but it is very... You can see why Tim ended up very alone, very isolated, hating himself for having kept the secret, but also knowing that he was scared and knowing he was trying to protect Mabel as well. It's a very complicated situation. I wonder almost if it will end up with Tim just killing himself, because the pressure of everything was too much, he couldn't prove it. But I also think he would try and prove it and he would keep going. So this was a really twisty turn. I did not expect two of them to get kidnapped at the end of the episode. I kind of thought they'd be in like a bit of a standoff situation, but no, he fully just managed to... I don't know how he managed to grab them both, because one of them probably could have run and escaped back up the stairs. But I suppose if he had a knife of some kind and grabbed one of them, the other one would comply. It's not the kind of show to worry about details, but this was a brilliant episode. Thank you so much, Kevin, for sponsoring. A reminder that if you are watching this at some point in the future on YouTube, all of my reactions to this show are on Patreon unedited, and thank you so much for watching.